The MG Show. The show is about to start. Buckle up, 'cause here we go!
What you know you can't explain. But you feel it. You felt it your entire life. That there's something wrong. You don't know what it is, but it's there. Like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. Experience the awakening. Brilliant anonymous researchers. Patriots, join us in the Patriot Army. Trust the plan, pain coming. Boom, boom, boom. Let's go. RedStateTalkRadio.com, Brighteon.tv, Rumble.com/MG Show. The end won't be for everyone. That choice to know will be yours. Where we go one, we go all. Fight, 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 and fight we will. We fight every day right here on the MG Show. Yeah, baby. Nothing can stop what is coming. Nothing. Shady Groove, welcome to the show.
Nothing at all can stop what's coming. Welcome to the show, everybody. I think each and every one of you are seeing a quickening that you have not seen before since paying attention for the last decade to Donald Trump, and you were promised winning, and the winning is not going to stop anytime soon, sir.
That's right, and can't wait. And I cannot wait to see what General Flynn has to say about his candidate losing so badly. Thank you, Jack Ciattarelli. Thank you, New Jersey, for coming out and supporting the President of the United States, not someone that has usurped our movement. Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you for not supporting the blackmailed candidate.
Yeah, thank you very much. And by the way, did you see what his campaign manager said, Shady?
I did, actually, yes.
Wow.
Crazy. Yeah.
Wow. And so real quick, we're going to be going on Wake Up later with Sonia. I hope I say her name right. Is it Sonia Poulton? Thank you. And guests, that's where we're going to be. But we'll simulcast it right here on this show, so you won't miss it. We're going to be interviewed by her talking about Q. And they're over on YouTube right now. So if you have a YouTube, able to comment, get over there.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that we're going to simulcast someone coming over to see MG Show, but bringing MG Show to their show to interview MG Show, and we're going to share that broadcast with our audience here live?
Yes.
Wow.
Because we have a Yeti that knows how to get stuff done.
And he, contrary to popular reports, he was not deported. That was not our Yeti.
Nope, he's actually a MAGA. I got video to prove it.
Yeah,
and
he's
by the
an
way,
American Yeti.
So we only have a few minutes. So check this out. Congratulations, New Jersey, and real Donald Trump endorsed Jack Ciattarelli. General Flynn loses again as Trump-backed Jack Ciattarelli wins the New Jersey GOP governor primary. Mike Crispy. This is Mike Crispy, guys. Look at what he says, okay? This is what Mike Crispy says. Spada sold you pure bull. It was never a campaign built to win. Either Bill was not in on it or scammed you, or he was too stupid to realize he was being taken for a ride. The conservative base belongs to Jack Ciattarelli, and we look forward to winning in November. Look at this, 20.9% to 67.5%, Shady.
I predicted 24
and
points.
Who do you think sold him pure bull? Huh?
Down the river.
All right. Yeah. I'll give you 3 stars in general if you guys can figure it out.
They got it. They already have it. You had them at hello.
I had them at hello. Her name is pronounced Sonia. Thank you so much, Caesar girl. I appreciate that. So Sonia, I got it right. Sonia. Okay.
This is
Thank
awesome.
you.
Wanted to talk to us about Q, which is exactly what we like to talk to people about, because what we have seen this last week especially is unbelievable with all of the different things that are happening now that people who read Q would remember, which is the National Guard being activated, working in tandem with the Marines, a bunch of idiots spouting off and trying to pop off riots in all these cities at the same time.
That's right. And so we have to join her in a few minutes here. And so what we'll do, Shady, and we'll just set everybody up. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. We're going to go over and join Sonia Poulton. Thank you very much. And can't wait. I'm very excited about it. She named the Spice Girls. She's interviewed some really big people. She's kind of a big deal over there in England, from what I understand. And there's a lot of people that, and I'd like to thank someone as well. Keyboard 17,
yes.
Thank you very much for setting this up for us, because she heard that she was interested in getting a different take on Q than the ones that you see that are, there is Q and there are QAnon, there is no QAnon, right? The people, number 2, the QAnons are making fake decodes to, take over the movement, Shady. That's basically what they did.
And railroad people into psychological operation narratives as opposed to showing them what it is Donald Trump is actually doing.
Yeah.
Which is a big problem we have.
Yeah.
We have all these people that think that they're in a popularity contest as opposed to a truth movement to find the core of the corruption. You can't turn the people that are corrupt into heroes and find the corruption. It doesn't work like that.
That's right. And, we've got to look at, there is no QAnon, right? There's only Q. Yes, we did use that. But, it's just crazy how they just usurped all of this, Shady Groove.
But what's crazier is how that it's almost like that it was predicted that they would do this. So it's almost like they got caught in a trap. They got caught in a trap of dealing with something they don't really know. It's like almost like, you chase the car, but once you catch the car as the dog, what do you do once you catch the car? And that's what they did.
Right, exactly right. And they caught it all right. Wow.
They really did. And now they've bitten off more than they can chew. And now they're out there promoting candidates alternative to Donald Trump consistently. I said, my comment to you, Jeff, was like, if we were to bet the house every time Flynn makes a pick, we'd make a fortune.
That's right. Because he went against J.D. Vance too, guys. Okay, enough is enough. All right, Cupid's Cowgirl, 5 subscriptions to the MG Show. We love you. Thank you so much. M. McKinnon 88, 5 subscriptions to the MG Show. We love you very much. Thank you. And by the way, Cram, I saw you do 2 subscriptions as well. Thank you very much. We love that, man. Thank you so much. Wow,
fun day.
All right, so we're going to go to commercial break. We'll see you in a few minutes. Stay here. We'll be right back.
Q-Waken is a streetwear brand and a community-driven project blending fashion, art, and digital assets. Built on the XRP ledger, it offers phygital products. Physical items like hoodies tied to NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that grant rewards in QWK tokens. Our QWK token powers our d-commerce ecosystem, rewarding you for engaging, holding, and shopping in a decentralized way. Aiming to revolutionize streetwear with a focus on sustainability and community values, Q-Waken was founded in late 2021, and it's tied to the Great Awakening theme, promoting free thought and truth-seeking. Join us at qwaken.club and become active part of the Golden Age.
To celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7, I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free.
Q-Waken is a streetwear brand and a community-driven project blending fashion, art, and digital assets. Built on the XRP ledger, it offers phygital products, physical items like hoodies tied to NFTs, non-fungible tokens that grant rewards in QWK tokens.
This is amazing.
Our QWK token powers our e-commerce ecosystem, rewarding you for engaging, holding, and shopping in a decentralized way.
Oh, thank you.
Aiming to revolutionize streetwear with a focus on sustainability and community values, Q-Waken was founded in late 2021, and it's tied to the Great Awakening.
So we're going to get the word out. We've got a lot going on in America right now. You know, we had the 2020 election stolen from us. It was rigged, you know, but maybe not rigged the way that people are saying it is, right? There's been a lot of confusion about what Q was. And, you know, we might want to refrain from saying that, or you could get banned off YouTube because they took our YouTube channels down as we were attacked.
Now, that is interesting you say that, Jeff, because obviously the whole issue of Pizzagate, very much a Q issue, right? That was one of the... No. Interesting.
That was set up before the 17 started posting.
Okay, very interesting. Just to say, because I got in trouble on YouTube for that. So, okay, so we will be careful. We will absolutely be careful. But I have questions, so many questions. And when I told our viewers that you were coming in, I got a pile of emails saying, please can you ask the guys this? Fantastic stuff. Sure. We love it. Absolutely love it. So
let me quickly just show you like how censored we are really quick. Okay. I'm Jeffrey Peterson. I was doxxed in 2019 after I said the word Paysur, which is, you know, the French monarchy. Okay. The Merovingians, they came to America and that's how America started, right? When I said that, that's when we got censored. Media, in 2019, February 22nd of 2019, Hillary put me on a list of 200 people she wanted off Twitter. I was in Twitter Files 16. Angus King, a sitting senator, wanted me off Twitter as well. Okay, he was on the Intel group along with Adam Pencilneck Schiff. I've got Shady and I have over 40 articles written about Media Matters, which is David Brock, which conveniently is, you know, possibly Alephantis's lover, attacking us on the daily when we have all these guests. So we are highly censored. I did get my Twitter account back, as did Shady, interestingly enough, because a lot of people that followed this 17th letter also did not get their accounts back. So we're very honored. So we are so censored. They took our PayPal, our Patreon, our YouTube. They took everything from us. They took, Shady, Teespring. We couldn't even sell a t-shirt. This is what they do. Yeah, because we're talking about Bigfoot, right? It must be something big.
We can talk about that.
Yeah, Spotify too. Hi, Spotify. They took us off there, and Media Matters did that, and Media Matters got us off all those platforms. So there must be something to this, no?
Of course, you're over the mark. I mean, simple as that, right? Because that old expression, right? Nobody wants to break into an empty house. So you must have something worth breaking into, right? Bottom line. But so I do have lots of questions, right? The whole issue with Trump. And yes, we believe also, many of my viewers believe that the election was stolen. Absolutely. We're on the same page, no doubt about it. But I want to make sense of what is taking place right now, because clearly there's nuances and details that are just passing us by. There's people keep talking about things like Q drops and the numbers and talking about the timing of things that are taking place. So I want to start wherever you're most comfortable with. I suspect perhaps we should just look at what is going on in LA to do with ICE, the deportations. What are your thoughts on that? Because obviously mainstream media feed us one version. I just watched a news conference with Gavin Newsom. Well, me and Gavin Newsom couldn't possibly be on the same page ever.
Yeah, well, so maybe one way to really quick just give you an overview of some of the confusion that's out there. Everything regarding Q is extraordinarily confusing because there's been a number of people, millions of them, that have come to a conversation to confuse the conversation so that people can't understand what's happening. People think that it was somehow a prophetic type operation. The Q was not being prophetic. Q was talking about the law and order in America and how law and order works and different things that would happen if law and order were usurped. right now you're seeing a bunch of these things being unlocked because what Q said early on was talks about riots in many cities in America happening at the same time, a coordinated effort to undermine the president of the United States, and also a coordination that would bring in the Marines to work with the National Guard in communities where people are trying to get violent and essentially, quote unquote, mostly peacefully protest. So effectively what we're seeing right now is a number of the posts that were dropped early by Q explaining this dynamic that were put out in late 2017 are now starting to come to fruition in Trump's new administration. And Trump's new administration doesn't have all of the same hangers on, if you will, trying to drag him down.
That's right. So Sonia, real quick, I'll show you a Q proof right now. If you want to bring me full screen, I'll share my screen.
Let's do this. Let me just solo layer. I wonder if that will bring you a full screen. Let me just try it here, down here. Oh, it's not wanting me to for some reason. Here we go. Let's try that. There you go.
Nice.
Okay. So on 6/6 was D-Day, right? The day of days. Okay. All right. So on 6/7, okay, it all started right after the day of days, D-Day. Defense Secretary Hegseth said the Marines may deploy from Camp Pendleton, and they in fact did have from San Diego if the violence continues. President Trump posted paid insurrectionists on 6/4/2020, right? So this is 6/4/2020. Marine Camp Pendleton, San Diego, Marine QVIR to central locations under guise of citizen riot control. That's happening now. This is what we call a Q proof. It couldn't happen in 2020 as well because the election got stolen. So now we're looking at the Q proofs now. Like Shady was saying, Q never predicted a date. There is no dates that have been predicted. And then you've got this right here. This is Q post 1, okay? Expect massive riots organized in defiance and others fleeing the U.S. to occur. U.S. militaries will conduct the operation while National Guard activated. You see all that happening right now.
Is this you? We do see all that happening right now, right? Which is why it's so fascinating. Is it, for want of a better description, is Q a kind of Nostradamus for the modern age? No, not that.
So everybody says that. Okay, so let me just be clear. Let me just read this for you. There is Q, okay? And there are anons. There is no QAnon, okay? The media labeling QAnon is a method to deliberately combine and attach Q to comments, theories, and suggestions, statements, and actions made by anons, okay? We have a lot of anons that have infiltrated this movement. For example, they're saying that General Flynn is a hero. This is not a General Flynn movement. This is a Donald Trump movement, okay? And Flynn was Scaramucci modeled in 23 days, okay? He was fired for lying to the president. This is a Donald Trump movement, not a General Flynn movement.
And I think that it would be good to explain the reason that some of this stuff, what Q said was future proves past. News unlocks the map. So what that meant was that events in the future, once we go to get down to the nuts and bolts of this operation of taking these people who are controlling the global financing, we're taking these people, start to take their network apart. Once we start taking their network apart, they're going to start coming loose at every end. Every edge is going to become frayed, and they're going to start to panic. And whenever they start to panic, all dictators and people that have tyrannical minds, they do one thing: they grab power. You can predict that. You can game that out. So we are basically antagonizing them to step into the light and show the world who they really are, and that they've really been conspiring with the Chinese and this whole COVID thing and everything that's going on with globalism and climate change and all this stuff. Well, isn't it interesting how that just turned into gender, and then it just turned into Palestine, and now it's turning into something else?
A million different agendas. Now, it's very interesting what you said, because what I always like to do in order to take the temperature of what is actually being said in the mainstream, I like to look on Wikipedia, how something is described on Wikipedia, because then you get a good idea of how the mainstream works. And the first thing they say is QAnon. And you've just dispelled that. You've literally said that's not the way it functions, right? So straight off the bat, right? Really interesting. Obviously, the thing that people always ask all the time is, who is Q? Is Trump? I mean, that is a question that people ask a lot.
So Q said that Q team is less than 10, 3 non-military, but Q plus is Donald J. Trump.
So whenever you're seeing the drops, we can show you guys where we can give you some links or whatever where you can go see the drops. When you see a drop signed by Q plus, that drop is a specific message from Donald Trump during his first administration. And so effectively, the reason that this is so important is because the media, look at what the media is doing. They're saying, oh, it's this, oh, it's that, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. The reason that they know that it's connected to Donald Trump, they know Donald Trump initiated it. But if they admit it, then they have to admit that it's legitimate from the president, and they have to interface with it like it's real instead of being able to censor us because we interface with it like it's real.
So you know what's important is not who Q is, it's what Q is. And I'll give you an example, okay? We did a big dig that no quote-unquote QAnon followers actually stuck to. We have foreign and all assets F+D deployed. All assets, foreign and domestic, deployed. This is Arabella Advisors, led by Hans-Jörg Wyss. Have you heard of Hans-Jörg Wyss from Switzerland?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, right.
So he's funding all of this as well. So all of us Anons have been digging on all these individual foundations and institutes. However, we missed this huge, big something, this bigger, which is Arabella Advisors. And the Clinton Foundation is at the center of it all because one of his actual people that helped Clinton in his administration actually worked, is the CEO or invented Arabella Advisors, and that's Eric Kessler. Okay, so Eric Kessler, Arabella Advisors, 2005, they started funding all of this. They funded all of this vote fraud. They funded everything that you see. And, you know, that's how they do it is through, in America, we have 501c3s and 501c4s. 501c3s, you have to tell you exactly who's donating. 501c4s, you don't. So we've got domestic and foreign billionaires funding our culture change here in America. And
100%. Absolutely. And when you have a congressman who says the only flag that should be raised is America, that's a nonsense because you see all manner of flags being raised in America, just as in the UK, we're equally as captured. Absolutely, we are. So what I've been observing and finding interesting is Donald Trump appears to be talking in code himself when he's putting out his social media posts. Is it according with what you were expecting regarding this?
So that's a great question, and I want to show you this. I actually made if you want to show my screen one more time, this is President Trump. He hits a 1652 timestamp, and that's military time, Eastern Standard Time, and oh boy, is it relevant. The Q post that was relevant is ICE executes its mission through enforcement of more than 400 federal statutes and focuses on smart immigration enforcement, preventing terrorism, and combating the illegal movement of people and trade, ice.gov. And this is about the time on 7/1/2018 that the Democrats wanted to abolish ICE. Hashtag goodbye Democrats. And this post was, let me just make it come down because this is a post of the National Guard coming out of the federal building in LA. Enough is enough.
So right there, what he's showing you is that Donald Trump put this post out with that video post at the time that it was. This is how Q taught us to correspond with Donald Trump and Dan Scavino by paying attention to their timestamps, military time and regular grade time, and then going and connecting it to the Q posts that have that time stamp. So when Donald Trump the other day made this post with the video of the National Guard coming out to stand up and defend the ICE detention center that was being assaulted by rioters, Donald Trump posted at the timestamp that marked that post that Jeff just read to you.
About ICE.
About ICE.
It's fascinating. So does he ever himself acknowledge Q?
Yes, he's posted many Q plus memes as of recently when people were trying to say, I think Q is a psyop. And then Donald Trump posts about 10 Q plus memes. And he's posted nothing can stop what is coming. That's Q. Where we go, one we go all. He's posted that. And by the way, where we go, one we go all is not a Q term. It's from a movie called White Squall. Thank you for playing, mainstream media.
And so within over the past 3 to 4 years since Joe Biden has been the president, Donald Trump has been on Truth Social. He has many times posted memes that come from the quote Q community, memes that will have a Q in them, memes that will have a slogan in them, memes that will be connected somehow to Q. Many times within the last few months, he has upped that progress, and now he's doing it even more often with memes that have like the lapel says Q plus. All of these things are signs and signals These aren't necessarily signs and signals to people who followed Q. These are signs and signals to the globalist deep state that Q is fighting, because the dynamic is Donald Trump and Q and the American patriots are fighting globalism. Yep. That's the dynamic, and that's literally what we're looking at. So everybody can look at all these different layers and whatever, but that's the core of it.
There's that meme with the two Pepes in there. Nothing can stop what is coming.
Yes, that's right. So you are seeing a lot. I love the energy of you guys, by the way. You absolutely, it's wonderful.
Let us know if you want us on your network. Let's go.
Fantastic.
Let's go.
We love it. We love it. So what is interesting is what you're telling us at the moment, all the things that we're seeing, the deportation and everything. This is essentially the Q drops playing out in real time for all of us to see. Right.
Because they didn't play out in 2020 because they were successful in getting them on, and so, you've got a lot of people so a lot of the vote fraud is because of the illegal aliens. 750,000 people in a area is one seat in the House of Representatives. Wow. Okay. So that is actually, if you look at the U.S. Census and how they do House of Representatives and representatives, that's how they're doing it.
And so a lot of the stuff that has been thrown at you about, voting machines and Italy and all these different nonsensical China, different theories or whatever, it's not really relevant. What's relevant is that these last 3 and 4 administrations in America have imported roughly 30 to 35 million people. That's a whole voting block. They're scattered out all over the country. What we want, as far as not just Q, but 75% of Americans that just voted for Donald Trump, we wanted change. We wanted these people thrown out. The infiltrators that are here in America are holding on to them. They do not want to release them because they're their cheap labor force. We want them gone. This dynamic was predicted by Q, because Q was basically saying at some point the rubber is going to meet the road, and we are going to go into LA and all of these sanctuary cities and start deporting these people, and these guys are going to lose their minds whenever we do it.
And they have. Completely. And the thing is, we were talking about this on Monday's show, but the reality is Donald Trump is actually doing what you voted for him to do. That is the reality. We don't have to people don't have to like it, but the president is actually doing the odd thing of doing what his voters had asked him to do. So what about situations like the Epstein files? We're repeatedly told, we're going to see a video, we're going to see this, and then there's a delay, and then Kash Patel comes out and says, no, Epstein definitely killed himself. What about Jeff, you're smiling. What about anything like that? How does that kind of have any say in what's taking place?
Let me put my common sense hat on. Okay. Common sense hat is on.
We love that.
Let's go ahead and give the enemy all the details of the Epstein list so they can counterpunch on it. Or are we not seeing what's really happening? Because Q said that we're not going to see 60 to 70% of what's happening. Maybe there's grand juries. It's got to be done right. The wheels of justice turn slow, but when they turn fast. So, they did kind of, in my opinion, it was a test for those influencers when they gave them that binder. Okay, that's all information we had years ago. Okay. And those people just went around getting clicks, trying to get paid on X, right? Just showing the binder. They didn't tell you what was in the binder. That's what a reporter does. So they were being tested, in my opinion, on what an actual influencer or reporter reports the news does. They didn't report on it. They just took pictures of it saying, look what we got. Neener, neener, neener. I think that was a test.
And I thought it was quite obscene as well, because let's not forget, we're talking about apparently files which contain details of abuse, and they were acting, like it was, like they're pop stars or something. And I found but I wondered whether that was also a way of filtering them out as well, because these were the type of influencers that you wouldn't necessarily turn your back on. Really.
One thing that we're seeing here that's very interesting, that maybe your audience would be interested to kind of get a glimpse of, is if you're seeing all of this stuff out there, all these attacks on Pam Bondi, all of these attacks on Kash Patel, all of these attacks on Dan Bongino, if you go to the core of that and see the criticisms and what they're saying stuff like, when Pam Bondi's going on Fox News doing, but if you go look at the Department of Justice and all of the arrests that are being made and all of these networks that are being disrupted and all of these cartel investigations that are coming to fruition that's going on, it's huge. Okay, so if somebody's telling you that Pam Bondi isn't doing anything, they're lying to you, because they're trying to gin up hatred for Pam Bondi. They're trying to gin up opposition to Donald Trump. So what we're doing as quote unquote Q people is we are supporting Donald Trump's version 2.0 administration, because we feel like he's put together a dynamic administration like no other in American history, of actual competent people that have competency ratings above, a level 75 IQ, and are doing things that are productive for the country. So we're giving them the benefit of the doubt. And what we're seeing is all these military operators in the field of social media pretending to be media are setting up an attack and a psychological operation against Trump's administration by undermining Bondi, Patel, and Bongino.
And I'm not a big Bongino fan, and I live in the same city as Dan Bongino, by the way. And
Interesting.
He does not like the 17th letter of the alphabet one bit. And I see somebody falling for, yes, he worked for Obama. Yes, he worked for Hillary. I get it. But did you see him come out with the Kash Patel interview, how down and out he was? Because I think he knows the truth now, and it's not happy. The truth is not happy, because he might have been protecting people that he probably shouldn't have been protecting.
And that's the worry, isn't it, really? And also the worry is that we'll never get to the bottom of it, because I take what you're saying, right? The truth is, in reality, when people are carrying out investigations, police investigations, they don't tell you every cough and spit as they're going through it, right? That's not how it works. But we have also been told lots, haven't we? They've taken a lot to, like, Joe Rogan's show, for example, and they've done a lot of, CNN or wherever, and they've talked about extensively. We've got these videos. Wouldn't it have been better for them not to have said anything? Because it's almost like they've left a gap, which makes people believe that they are dishonest.
Exactly right. Exactly right. Great point. And we need honest journalism, and when you're wrong, admit you're wrong. But everybody has such a big ego, they can't. Like, I supported somebody that I shouldn't have supported because I was fooled. And then when I found out that person was not a good person and came out against them, oh boy, did all poop hit the fan, for lack of a better term. But I stand behind what I research. If they admit that Q, the 17th letter of the alphabet, is real, they admit that our digs are real. That's the problem they got.
And it's a big problem that they have, because effectively, so whenever we talk about journalism is a very dynamic thing. And what we've been witnessing and what we've learned even after Q is that the quote unquote right-wing media in America, the Breitbart layer, the Bannon layer, all of these people, the Roger Stone layer, the Alex Jones layer, all of those people are working in tandem with the military industrial complex against you in the public arena on social media. So they're creating psychological operations against you and against Donald Trump while they are out in public pretending like they support MAGA, pretending like they support Donald Trump. That's why there's this weird dynamic that nobody can seem to put their finger on. And so what we are doing, we are attacked by the right-wing media, all these people that are, quote, QAnon people. Well, they don't much care for Matrix and Shady. And then all the people that over here that are Democrat liberals, well, they don't much care for us either, because we are really just researching the truth and presenting it as we can prove it. We don't say anything on the air we can't prove. Therefore, they can't use our words against us.
That's right. So if you want to have another show about who we think did January 6th to make MAGA look violent, you might want to have that on our
I absolutely would love to do that. Absolutely. because I want to also ask you some questions that I've been sent. Sure. Neil, thank you so much. Neil, very fascinated about you coming on. And you've actually answered some of his questions already, including, is this the third term for Trump? You've already answered that. Clearly, it is, as far as you're concerned, right? And one of his questions is, is the military in control via continuity of government?
Negative.
No. That's a no. What's going on is the military tried to generate a continuity of government operation against Trump, and they sent all their minions out in public to say, oh, Trump is really in charge, when in all reality, Donald Trump would not allow 20 million more illegals to come here. Donald Trump would not allow the degradation that has happened to our country over the last 4 years.
If Trump was in charge, let's put our common sense hat. If Trump was in charge with all that, Afghanistan stuff, would you vote for him?
I wouldn't.
No. Right. It's bull poop.
Right. Got you. There is actually so much. And also the other thing that Neil said is are we watching a movie to wake people up? Is that, because that is essentially what you're saying as well. That seems to be in accord with what Neil's saying. You are saying this is very deliberate. This is very much about waking us all up. And so, there'll be people out there and they'll write into me saying, have you lost the plot? Have you gone absolutely into, but we're used to that, aren't we? I mean, we are used to that, and it's absolutely fine. And the thing is, we never get we're never gonna get to the truth just by following what legacy media have to say. So we have to go to the outer edges to find out what people like your good selves are saying. Before you leave us today, we've absolutely flown past.
Well, I want to real quick address something.
That is what I want to do. Go for it.
You're watching a movie, all these little, key words. How about dig into more deeper into the Q post instead of people saying you're watching a movie, it's all scripted actors. No, it's not. There's moves and counter moves. You saw that Trump didn't get elected in 2020. We all thought he did, right? Sometimes you have to go away and show people the truth because you can't tell them. So Donald Trump was not elected, right? And Biden was the president, not Trump. Okay, guys. This devolution stuff was set up by the same network that we're talking about that did January 6th, that did the Brooks Brothers riot. And we can go into that in another show. But dig deeper. They always use these little keywords. Okay, these are narrative seeders, and what makes a good movie? Everybody says actors. I say it's a script because I've seen a lot of people that were good actors that were bad movies.
So guys, prepare us. What's likely to happen over the next few days?
Well, I'd say buckle up and just support your president, President Trump. Look for more National Guard deployments in other cities. Q said maybe 19, Shady? I can't remember the exact number, but there's going to be more. And there's going to be more news unlocking the map. And if you want to follow us, we're only on Rumble because YouTube got us. I hope you still have your account after you have us on this show.
Well, I sincerely hope so. I would be complaining if not. I've put a link already, guys, I think in the description to the guys' website. You can find out more about them, because for some people it'll be like, what on earth have I just stepped into? But that's fine. It's all about expanding our minds around here. Go on, Shannon.
And as far as like what we're getting ready to see in America, what you're getting ready to see is you're getting ready to get a heaping helping of law and order. That's what you're getting ready to see. Law and order is good. We have a new sheriff in town, a man that's at the top of the heap, at the bully pulpit, that is going to instill law and order. He will do what is necessary to reclaim territory. These Marxists are occupying territory. Think about it like a war within our cities. They think that they can run the show. Donald Trump is getting ready to show them that they, in fact, do not run the show.
Let me read you some comments before you leave us today. Kim has said, Matrix and Shady Groove have helped me understand what has been happening for the last 6 years. They are so trustworthy. Good words. Lots of lovely comments about you, and lots of querying comments like, have I just stepped into some sort of, alternative universe? You may well have done. Yes, indeed. You may well have done. Absolutely wonderful to have you with us, guys. We are going to hook up again, 100%. I'm so grateful that we managed to pull this off.
Love your energy. Thank you for having us,
guys. Jeffrey Peterson and Shannon Townsend, to give them their correct names, or you can call them Matrix and Shady. I think that's right, isn't it?
Thanks
yes, there you go. Wonderful to have you both with us. Take good care. Have a brilliant rest of your show, guys. Lovely to have you with us.
You.
Worldwide.
Wonderful.
How cool.
Wonderful. How very cool was that to have them with us? And thanks to their producer, guys. Lovely to have you with us. Do that.
Worldwide.
Let's sincerely hope I'm not going to get in trouble, eh?
Wonderful.
How very cool was that to have them with us? And thanks to their producer who worked out how we were going to do that. Let's sincerely hope I'm not going to get in trouble, eh? Let's sincerely hope not. Thank you both. Thank you both. Subbed, says Eddie. And trust the plan, says Isa.
Let's get back. Come on, let's go.
Just walk right back into our own show.
Yeah.
Just like march in like
Welcome back to the MG show, guys. Wow, was that fun or what? Boy,
what the hell happened?
We just took a transatlantic flight over to Wake Up with Sonia Poulton, and I think that went very well. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. Yeah, we went to YouTube.
We went on a field trip.
I hope she doesn't, lose her channel. Wow.
No, we're not going to know until we know, Jeff.
Wow.
Was that
unbelievable.
Good? 17 if we did good out there. Come on now. Let's see it.
I don't see any 17, Shady.
Oh, we must have messed up. I don't know. Maybe Yeti did get deported.
Yeti, are you deported?
It was such a smooth transition, man. You're good at transitions, dude.
Oh, there's one. Cupid's Cowgirl was the first to say 17. We love you, Cupid's Cowgirl.
She was excited.
Yeah, she was. Look at that. Look at all those 17s now, Shady. Look at them all. Look at those. Look at them
There
all.
they are. Now I feel the love.
Now,
Thank you.
Just understand that we only had like 20 some odd minutes. She actually went over a little bit too, guys. So we're actually thankful on that. But, you know, the conversation was energetic. It was fast paced. We could only scrape the surface, and that's all we needed. We just want to try to get people interested and coming over to the MG show and checking out our family here that we have on rumble.com/MG show.
And getting some people that have some legitimate questions. You know, the reason that we created this show was because we wanted to interface with people that were confused, or people that had questions, or people that wanted to understand. Then we decided, oh, look at all the ability we have to have these people. We can share these people's experiences with you. And then it turns out that they were all against us, you know, but we came through it together. You guys, that's another thing. People say, oh, we're this and that. You don't understand what our audience has seen, bro. You think you can just like march in and take my audience? I'm pretty sure that's going to be a heavy lift.
I mean, if they take your audience, they take mine.
That's what I'm saying.
Jeez, Shady.
Goodness.
All right, let me just see. This is from Keyboard, who actually got us together. I decided to disrupt my routine and listen live instead of the next day. Great interview, and I think you are definitely going to be back on our show again. Thank you so much, Keyboard 17. We love you, man. Thank you. Wow.
And now just to let you guys know, this was a listener who also listens to that broadcast and got us together. That's how this can work. The Flynn Network doesn't want you guys helping us like that.
Nope.
They think they want us to stay over here in this echo chamber where they've got us in the corner of X, and they think that because they don't interface with us or block our posts or hide our replies that we don't exist. But that I would beg to differ with that.
Yeah, United States of Q. The show is seriously considered my extended family, and I love you all. We love you all too. And you know, as we are, struggling with our own family members who aren't awake, we need an outlet to speak with one another. And I think we have a lot of respect and love right here at the MG Show. Thank you for that, United States of Q.
God bless you.
Wow, I am just so excited, Shady. Wow, that was fun.
We were like, this was all coming around at the beginning of the week, and the two of us looked at each other cross-eyed, like, how we, and then Yeti said, oh, no, I got you. And then he almost got deported. So we didn't really know that we were going to be able to.
First he went down to L.A. That's when he almost got deported. I mean,
he was so excited to get to L.A., and then he got to L.A., and he was like, I can get the hell out of here. Then he got deported, and then it's an amazing journey.
It is. It's so amazing. Oh, my God. So the protests are spreading nationwide. On the 14th, they're going to have that day of defiance, Shady Groove. We didn't talk about this. We kind of brushed it. But these are the protesters across the country. This is Randy Weingarten is a key organizer. She was the head of the teachers union, for crying out loud. And also Indivisible, which is Arabella funded, is also funding this as well. This is the link. They're saying that President Trump is a king. I mean, just read this, Shady Groove. On June 14th, Flag Day, President Trump wants tanks in the street and a made-for-TV display of dominance for his birthday, a spectacle meant to look like strength, but real power isn't stationed in Washington. It rises up everywhere else. No kings as a nationwide day of defiance, from city blocks to small towns, from courthouses, steps to community parks. We're taking action, reject authoritarianism, and show the world what democracy really looks like. We're not gathering to feed his ego. We're building a movement that leaves him behind. The flag doesn't belong to President Trump. It belongs to us. Then why don't you fly it, creeps? We're not watching history happen. We're making it. On June 14th, we're showing up everywhere he isn't. Say no to thrones, no to crowns, no to kings, Shady.
This is so ridiculous. This is such an inverted perspective on reality.
Look at this, too. The Walmart heiress, Christy Walton, funded a nationwide anti-Trump campaign for no kings in major newspapers, urging a day of defiance and calling for people to rise up on June 14th. Walmart had to come out and say, we don't support this.
Yes, I saw that. Can you believe that? They had to actually come out because of the heiress.
This lady, Sam Walton, I think she was married to, wasn't she married to one of the Waltons, I think?
Yes.
Sons. Yes. And so, her stepfather loved Made in America. He'd be rolling in her grave for her belief system that she is espousing today, Shady.
Well, the whole thing that Walmart became. Like, look at that.
Made in America.
No.
Yes.
No, it's made in China. Whenever it started, it was made in America. Do you guys remember that? Does anybody even remember that Walmart was specialty, was made in America?
If you don't remember, go watch Christmas Vacation when they're buying Snots,
Yes.
Food. In the background, it says "Made in America."
Wow, man. I mean, I tell you, the distance that we have come to think that this person, that whatever, boy, oh boy, it's just amazing. It's just amazing to watch, like, what they're putting their money into.
Here, I'm just going to go ahead and roll. Thank you to, this is from Michigan Anna, and I'm just going to roll this tape. These are all their partners, Shady Groove. Look at this. Look at, just watch. Look at it. I mean, just look at this.
Disgusting.
These are all, look at the ACLU, Americans for Tax Fairness. What? He's canceling taxes. Black Voters Matter, Bernie. Look at that. Catholics vote common good. Look at these people. These are all foreign and domestic funded community foundation, Shady Groove. These are crazy. These people are insane. Look at this. Just watch it roll, Shady. Look at that.
I'm watching it.
Feminist majority. Wow. Greenpeace is there. Human Rights Campaign. There's Indivisible right there. Boom. That's Arabella funded. And there's probably many others that are also funded by Arabella Advisors.
You could really just pretty much take a Fortune 500 list and all of these subsidiaries of Fortune 500 companies. Like the Fortune 500 company doesn't necessarily put their name here, but all of their subsidiaries they utilize. It's a very interesting dynamic of multinationalist corporations.
Stella asks, if the masks were sold by Walmart, it doesn't matter who sold them the masks. Stella, you're so funny. Oh, my God. It's the fact that the masks were funded by your money and Arabella and foreign and domestic billionaires, guys. I mean, look at that. It's still going, Shady. Look at this.
It's disgusting.
Move on. Indivisible. Swing left. Look at, I mean, you could go look at every one of these and you can probably find Arabella Advisors, foreign and domestic billionaire funded. So what they're trying to do, Shady Groove, is basically, and I think Stephen Miller said it best, what they're actually trying to do is overturn the 2024 election results, Shady Groove. That's exactly what they're doing. I think he said it perfectly. Let me just find the post, but if you want to comment while I try to look for it.
Yeah, he did. And actually, real quick, I'll read you what my comment was to what you were saying before with the no kings thing. My comment was the global elites clinging to their monarchic control are funding chaos to block President Trump from restoring American sovereignty to its people. They falsely paint Trump as a king to justify their riots and schemes. The truth, Trump's fight is for you, not crowns, not thrones, but freedom. On June 14th, the No Kings movement claims to resist authoritarianism, but their actions defying courts, attacking rights, and stirring division reveal their hypocrisy.
Wow. Unbelievable.
That's what's really happening. They're doing the perfect projection. They are the kings. Globalists are the kings. The people that think like this person from Walmart, they adore the king. They want the person sitting there telling them to put the mask on. Do you understand this? They want the person saying, stay 6 feet apart. Yeah. They want that authority over them. They want the king as they make a perfect inverted messaging.
So it was funny. Well, not funny. There was a man caught with his mask down, caught with his pants down, mask down, and he was distributing face shields. This is the guy right here. His name is Alejandro Orellana, Alejandro Orellana, a Brown Beret member identified as a man distributing thousands of dollars in face shields to rioters in L.A. The radical Latino paramilitary group is active in cities worldwide. The Brown Berets, guys. Pretty interesting.
A hardworking California dad.
Right.
He's a family man.
Right. And meanwhile, Shady Grove, we actually had the president of the House of the Senate in Mexico. Did you see what this guy said?
I did. You're going to love this.
So this is it right here. Mexican's president says, yes, we will build the wall and pay for it. But per the 1830 Mexico map, we were there before the U.S. Mexicans there live in their ancestral homeland. Okay. And he's saying, we're just going to go ahead and, come and get it. Okay. But doesn't he realize that it was a purchase? It was a legal and lawful purchase, Shady Groove?
Phoenix was mud huts, Jeff. It was mud huts in Phoenix. This guy was like Flagstaff. They had teepees in Flagstaff. That's what they had whenever we bought that. They didn't have any cities. They didn't have any infrastructure. They didn't have anything. They were all like out there living in the sunshine, growing maize on the roof. Huts, they still own this property.
Apparently, he didn't study history. The Mexican government sold the land to the U.S. in two separate treaties. One, 1847, the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo, $15 million for 525,000 square miles. And in 1885, the Gadsden Purchase, Mesilla Valley, $10 million for 30K square miles. Apparently, they don't know their history, Shady Groove.
No, they don't. But this is funny because this is what all of the people that are there. This makes the conversation one-to-one. This takes all the BS out of it. They're standing there saying it on the streets. They're standing on the streets with their masks on and their face shields on, saying exactly this. This is our land. Donald Trump is saying this is an invasion, Jeff. They are admitting to it. Do you understand this?
Yeah.
They are admitting that they are invading to occupy your territory. That's exactly what I just said to Sonia. They want to occupy territory. That's how you control people. This is what their operations have always been. If you think that the illegal immigrants were being sent here to pick crops, you're foolish. They were being sent here to one day attempt to take back the land that Mexico sold to you.
Yeah. And you know what? F around and find out. It's so good to see LA stepping up. And what people don't realize is for the Insurrection Act to be declared on a state, they have to say that LA police aren't doing their jobs, the mayor and governors. Now, the mayor and governors are doing their job, but they're doing it out of two sides of their mouth. They're trying to capitulate to the people that they're supporting, which is La Raza and all these, insurrectionists essentially, but they're actually doing what they have to do. The mayor said that there was a curfew. The police, LA police, came out and enforced that curfew. You're seeing people being actually arrested. So they're actually doing the right thing while saying the wrong thing. It's very interesting.
Why was there not a curfew Friday night? Why was there not a curfew Saturday night? Why was there not a curfew Sunday night? Why did the National Guard show up on Monday night? And then Tuesday night, there's a curfew. Do you understand? They're trying to tell you that Donald Trump caused all of this. No, he did not. Donald Trump stopped you from doing it. What they're really trying to say is Donald Trump caused the rioting to end. Donald Trump caused our rioting that we were getting ready to do to burn this mofo down. He caused that to end. That's what they're really saying to you.
Yeah. 17 Patriots for Truth, $17 Rumble Rat. No tax on tips. Cool interview today. Thank you all. Thank you, Moody. MG Show. Think about how thinly they spread they'll be that day. What better time to round them up? Exactly. But look, this is not funny stuff, guys. This is rape Trump. I mean, he posted a meme that Posobiec posted about Melania. That's interesting, huh, Shady, on the sidewalk?
Yeah.
And then this is by Kill Trump or Vance. This is not, welcome in our society. This is violent extremists and domestic terrorists. Democrats and liberal media will twist this truth about their identity and statements, but this is disgraceful. Did you see us saying CILL by Dan? No. Did we ever do any of this? No.
I mean, the one guy did put him on the back of the truck with him tied up.
Well, that's funny.
And the other guys chased him on the bus. I mean, that's about as close as we can come.
Yeah. Pretty interesting, guys. So,
wow.
Yeah, so we've got, that was a fire hour. Are we done already?
We're close to like the top of the hour. We had to go to London during that little adventure, and then we had to come back around the other side of the flat Earth.
Why do I not want to pay attention to you ever?
I don't know. You love me. You cherish my company.
And, let's just go ahead and listen to this song real quick, guys, okay? This song is what I love. Check it out.
This land is your land. This land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the redwood forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me.
I love that, Shady Groove. I just needed to bring that in before we go to break.
Much love to you, sir.
Yeah. This land is made for you and me, not for these communist socialists that are destroying your cities and disturbing, the flow of business in a city. It's crazy. And we will win. And I cannot wait.
Me neither.
We'll be right back after these beautiful boom messages.
Hello to all of you beautiful patriots out there.
First of all, let me just thank you all for supporting this show. We wouldn't be here without you. But I have a huge announcement regarding donations.
It has come to our attention that using the Rumble app is taking an additional 30% of your donation to the show.
Let me explain. According to our TOS, Rumble takes 20% of all donations made through the web browser.
And that's at 20%. It's a good deal if you consider other platforms like YouTube and such.
There is a hidden cost that we just found out. For example, we received the generous $500 donation from Spill Tea, and thank you so much for that, from the Rumble app on Apple. So Rumble took 20%, and Apple took an additional 30%. We brought that to Rumble, and they said, well, Rumble's take of tips and donations is 20%. That's if the transaction is done through the web browser. If using the Android or iOS app, it's an additional 30% collected by those platforms.
So please use the web browser to make your donations to the show and avoid the hidden fees by Apple and Android.
That's right. You can also support us at GiveSendGo/HelpMGShow, mg.show/donate. We have PayPal and Cash App. Both are at RealMGShow or $RealMGShow. Please help us out. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
To celebrate our newest launch, Rev 7, I'm bringing you an amazing introductory offer, plus an exclusive overstock sale that you're not going to want to miss. Rev 7 is our premium energy drink that tastes great and gives you energy all day with no jitters and no crashes. That's because there's no sugar and no caffeine. I'm so sure you're going to love Rev 7 that for a limited time you can try our 3-pack absolutely free. Or check out our Percale bed sheets. I can't believe I'm even going to say this. Every color, every style, every size, only $29.88. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to save 20% on our Rev 7 12-packs or try our introductory 3-pack absolutely free. And our Percale bed sheets, all sizes, only $29.88, even the queens and kings. Inventory is extremely limited, so order now.
Q-Waken is a streetwear brand and a community-driven project blending fashion, art, and digital assets. Built on the XRP ledger, it offers phygital products. Physical items like hoodies tied to NFTs, non-fungible tokens, that grant rewards in QWK tokens. Our QWK token powers our d-commerce ecosystem, rewarding you for engaging, holding, and shopping in a decentralized way. Aiming to revolutionize streetwear with a focus on sustainability and community values, Q-Waken was founded in late 2021, and it's tied to the Great Awakening theme, promoting free thought and truth-seeking. Join us at qwaken.club and become active part of the Golden Age.
tell you.
Understand.
Believe in me, I'm with the high command. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Calling you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Calling you. There's a gun and ammunition just inside the doorway. Use it only in emergency. Better you should pray to God, the Father and the Spirit will guide you and protect you from up here. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me calling you? Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me calling you? Swear allegiance to the flag, whatever flag they offer. Never hint at what you really feel. Teach the children quietly, for someday sons and daughters will rise up and fight while we stood still. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Oh, man, calling you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me running? Can you hear me running? Hear me calling you. Can you hear me?
Welcome back. We can hear you. Welcome back to the MG Show right here on rumble.com/MG Show, Red State Talk Radio, every podcast platform except for Spotify, kick.com, x.com. We're everywhere, Shady. Welcome back.
We were even on YouTube today.
Wow.
So far, so good.
Pray that she doesn't get her YouTube taken down, Shady. Whew.
Yep.
Oh. Wow. All right. So, we got so much happening, Shady Grove. It's just, apparently I just saw a Texas dude in here. What's his name? I can't remember his name, but he just said that National Guard has been released in Dallas, Austin, and another one. That's our Texas friend. So, we're waiting for major cities, National Guard. It's all going to happen. I mean, these are Q proofs, aren't they, Shady?
Well, what's going to happen is you're not going to see what you saw in 2020. Okay. And I just want to make sure everybody understands that this is not what's going to happen. There's going to be a couple of these cities that are going to look like some of the stuff that happened in 2020, but you're not going to see this across the board thing that happened. Why did Donald Trump spend the last 10, 12 months in his campaign explaining to law enforcement that we are law and order? Because whenever the time comes to need law enforcement to stand in the gap of a bunch of idiots and to know what's right and wrong, they decide to do so. And that's going to happen in the majority of these cities that are trying to set this stuff up.
Yep, absolutely. And we're waiting for Caroline Leavitt to come out to do the press conference. We will have it here because there's just so much going on. And I really would love to hear from our press secretary. Wouldn't you, Shady?
Yes, sir.
All right. So we did talk a little bit about, the Fort Bragg. By the way, Miranda Devine reposted me on X today. That was pretty awesome. But this is a little tidbit that Donald Trump posted at 11:27 a.m. Shady. Check this out.
We have a great military.
There's no woke in our military. I got rid of that.
Yeah.
Getting rid of woke in our schools, our military, and just in our society was very important. That's one of the things I did. People, you're not seeing woke anymore.
No.
You're seeing it. It almost became illegal.
Yes.
It was horrible for this country. It was a curse on our country.
And all it took was for you to just say it's rubbish.
Yeah. That's it. It was rubbish. It was garbage. It was sick.
Yeah.
Transgender for everyone. All of this stuff. And it was killing our country. No, our country's back. We're really back. We have the hottest country in the world right now.
Wow. And Keek, I don't know what you're talking about. So, oh my God. But we have a great military. Our country is back. We're really back, guys.
So think about what she just said there. All you had to do was say it.
Yeah.
The simplicity of that should shock you. It should shock you because people want to like scream and yell and tell you that all of this different stuff is like organic. It's coming from the people. It's bottom up. It's grassroots. If it were grassroots, saying what Donald Trump said out loud would have had no effect on it. Yeah. Why did it? Why did it end woke? Why did it end DEI? Because it's not real. Because it's astroturf. It's fake. It's pretend. They were literally doing that so that they could usher in their transhumanist world. Their transhumanist world that they're trying to usher in doesn't include the humans.
Yeah. Which is very interesting. So Trump posted that at 11:27. Q posts 11:27 is a clean H house is very important. Our comms must be this way. Refer back to the why. National security laws. Trust the plan. April showers. Q. Thank you, Bonster.
Yeah.
That's the Trump truth. That's what we just watched. Our comms must be this way.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah. Wow. And I don't know what Dan Scavino's timestamp was. It's in there though, but very interesting. So that's where we're at. You're just obsessed by him coming out to Thunder.
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome.
The whole thing yesterday was awesome. All of it. Like, there was so much symbolism in all of that. The 82nd Airborne Division, Flynn's connection with 82nd Airborne, Fort Bragg is initiating all these psychological operations on us from the center of the JFK Center there at Fort Bragg. So Donald Trump went in and he wanted to kick the tires a little bit and say, listen, guys, we got some people out there and your psyops are sucking hard. I mean, like sucking hard. You're going to have to like up your game or just like ixnay this whole department because it's just not working.
All right, Shady Grove, we've got press secretary. Here she comes.
How are you? Good to see you all.
How about you, Caroline?
What we have seen transpire in Los Angeles, California in recent days is shameful. Left-wing radicals waving foreign flags viciously attacked ICE and Border Patrol agents as well as Los Angeles police officers. These criminals injured police, threw rocks at police cars and officers, burned vehicles, shut down freeways, and lobbed Molotov cocktails, all because the Trump administration was removing violent criminal illegal aliens from the city. These attacks were aimed not just at law enforcement, but at American culture and society itself. Rioters burned American flags, chanted "Death to ICE," and spray-painted anti-American slogans on buildings. But President Trump will never allow mob rule to prevail in America. The most basic duty of government is to preserve law and order, and this administration embraces that sacred responsibility. Democrats like Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass shamefully failed to meet their sworn obligations to their citizens. They didn't have the courage to do the right thing and protect law-abiding Californians from rioters. That's why President Trump deployed the National Guard and mobilized Marines to end the chaos and restore law and order. The mob violence is being stomped out. Criminals responsible will be swiftly brought to justice, and the Trump administration's operations to arrest illegal aliens are continuing unabated. When the initial immigration enforcement actions took place on June 6th, Mayor Bass took to social media to say she was deeply angered by what has taken place. Mayor Bass then embarked on one of the most outrageous campaign of lies this country has ever seen from an elected official blaming President Trump and brave law enforcement officers for the violence. She accused heroic American immigration and customs enforcement officers targeting illegal alien murderers, rapists, and pedophiles of, quote, sowing terror in communities and disrupting basic principles of safety in our city. Around the same time, Governor Newsom claimed that immigration enforcement actions were causing chaos. That's how radical Democrats have become. Their opposition to President Trump has forced them to side with illegal alien criminals in their communities and violent rioters and looters over law enforcement officers who are just doing their jobs. Mayor Bass and Governor Newsom fanned the flames and demonized our brave ICE officers. Instead of defending their city and their state, Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom claimed that in order for the riots and the violence to stop, ICE needed to leave and immigration raids must end. In other words, the position of the Democrat Party is that the federal government is not allowed to enforce our laws and to arrest and deport illegal alien criminals. They're attempting to use a violent mob as a weapon against their own constituents to prevent the enforcement of immigration law. This is deeply un-American and morally reprehensible. President Trump received a clear mandate from voters to reverse the illegal invasion ushered in by Joe Biden's open border and to end the lawlessness represented by Karen Bass in Gavin Newsom's California. President Trump promised to carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history, and left-wing riots will not deter him in that effort. Sanctuary cities and states will no longer be allowed to shield illegal criminals from deportation. Just take a look at some of the illegal monsters who were taken off the streets in Los Angeles in recent days. A Vietnamese national, a known gang member with a conviction for second-degree murder. A Mexican national with convictions for child molestation who was armed with a dangerous weapon and had previous arrests for robbery and domestic violence. A Filipino national with convictions of rape, assault, burglary, and theft. A Mexican national convicted of statutory rape, narcotics violations, and hit and run. A Nicaraguan national with convictions for domestic violence and hit and run and a previous arrest for willful cruelty to a child. And an illegal alien from Mexico who was arrested after allegedly throwing a Molotov cocktail at law enforcement officers during the Paramount riots on Saturday. He is now being charged with attempted murder. Law-abiding American citizens do not want these public safety threats living in their communities, no matter what Democrats like Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom may claim. And let this be an unequivocal message to left-wing radicals in other parts of the country who are thinking about copycatting the violence in an effort to stop this administration's mass deportation efforts. You will not succeed. Any lawlessness will only strengthen this president's resolve to see their real earnings increase by around $1,200 adjusted for inflation.
Hang on, guys.
And prices continue to fall for everyday Americans. Energy prices fell from April to May. Gasoline has fallen each month since President Trump took office, down 12% over the past year. And prices for meat, poultry, eggs, and fish are all down from April to May as well. Under President Trump's strong leadership, America is beating Joe Biden's record high inflation crisis. And once the one big beautiful bill passes,
let me go back just a little bit because
for meat, poultry, private sector
I can't. Can I? Dang it.
Free from the fear held from.
Okay, I guess not. I thought she was showing these. Okay, I want to actually show these. Okay,
represented by Karen Bass in Gavin Newsom's California. President Trump promised to carry out the largest mass deportation campaign in American history, and left-wing riots will not deter him in that effort. Sanctuary cities and states will no longer be allowed to shield illegal criminals from deportation. Just take a look at some of the illegal monsters who were taken off the streets in Los Angeles in recent days. A Vietnamese national, a known gang member with a conviction for second-degree murder. A Mexican national with convictions for child molestation who was armed with a dangerous weapon and had previous arrests for robbery and domestic violence. A Filipino national with convictions of rape, assault, burglary, and theft. A Mexican national convicted of statutory rape, narcotics violations, and hit and run. A Nicaraguan national with convictions for domestic violence and hit and run and a previous arrest for willful cruelty to a child. And an illegal alien from Mexico who was arrested after allegedly throwing a Molotov cocktail at law enforcement officers during the Paramount riots on Saturday. He is now being charged with attempted murder. Law-abiding American citizens do not want these public safety threats living in their communities, no matter what Democrats like Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom may claim. And let this be an unequivocal message to left-wing radicals in other parts of the country who are thinking about copycatting the violence in an effort to stop this administration's mass deportation efforts. You will not succeed. Any lawlessness will only strengthen this president's resolve to defend the majority of Americans who want to live their lives peacefully, free from the fear of violent, criminal, illegal aliens. As President Trump said, order will be maintained and illegal aliens will be expelled from our country. In economic news, the latest consumer price index inflation report came in today below expectations again. Since President Trump took office, inflation has come in below economics expectations every single month. Core inflation held steady and remains at the lowest level since March of 2021. Wage growth remains strong. The average private sector worker is on track to see their real earnings increase by around $1,200 adjusted for inflation. And prices continue to fall for everyday Americans. Energy prices fell from April to May. Gasoline has fallen each month since President Trump took office, down 12% over the past year. And prices for meat, poultry, eggs, and fish are all down from April to May as well. Under President Trump's strong leadership, America is beating Joe Biden's record high inflation crisis. And once the One Big Beautiful Bill passes, our economy will boom like never before. This bill is the largest tax cut for middle-class Americans in history. The One Big Beautiful Bill gives a 15% tax cut to working Americans and families will see increased take-home pay of $10,000 per year. The One Big Beautiful Bill expands the child tax credit to $2,500 for more than 40 million American families with children. And the One Big Beautiful Bill cuts taxes for overtime workers, saving them nearly $2,000 per year, and ends taxes on tips, saving tipped workers nearly $2,000 per year as well. All of these provisions are broadly popular with an overwhelming support from the American people. We need Republicans in Congress to finish the job and send the One Big Beautiful Bill back to President Trump's desk for his signature as soon as possible. With that, we'll get to questions. I'm sure you have many of them today. Here in our new media seat is Elizabeth Mitchell, the White House correspondent for the Daily Signal, who's not afforded a seat in this room, but today she is. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Thank you so much, Caroline. I have two questions, if that's okay. First, a few Republicans on Capitol Hill are suggesting that President Trump scale back deportations, even as ICE is reportedly gearing up for raids in 5 more Democrat-led areas. Would anything dissuade President Trump, and would he consider sending in Marines if anti-ICE violence occurs in these cities?
Well, I think I may have just answered both of your questions with my opening monologue. The Trump administration is going to continue the mass deportation effort that the president promised the American public. Many of you were at those rallies in cities and communities across the country when the president spoke about his commitment to removing violent illegal criminals and anyone who has broken our nation's immigration laws from American communities. And God bless our ICE and Border Patrol who are working hard on that effort. This administration is going to continue that. And it's part of the reason we do need the One Big Beautiful Bill to pass as well, may I add, because the bill provides funding to hire more ICE agents and Border Patrol agents, more personnel on the ground to conduct this important public safety work.
Thank you. And on another topic, President Trump has indicated that aides to former President Biden who used the auto pen to sign major orders and pardons should be investigated for potential crimes. Does he think that Biden allowing, or at least being negligently unaware of this activity, was an impeachable offense?
I haven't heard the president address whether it's an impeachable offense, but it could perhaps be a criminal offense, especially on behalf of staffers who may have been utilizing the president's signature without his authority or consent. I understand that Republicans on the Hill are moving in the right direction to call attention to this and to bring in some former White House staffers who clearly knew more than they ever shared and never addressed with the American public. And so we look forward to seeing where this investigation continues. And I know the Department of Justice is also looking into the matter as well. Alex, good to see you today.
Good to see you, Caroline. Thank you. You mentioned foreign flags being blown during these protests. There are protest activities being organized for this weekend. Part of it are Democrats saying they want to reclaim the American flag. It's also being titled No King's Day. Does the president see himself as a king, and does the White House expect to see American flags being flown during these protests this weekend?
The president views himself as the
question.
president of the United States of America. This is a constitutional republic, and we want to see all of our citizens be proud of the country in which they are given the privilege and the blessing to live. And I think that those images of foreign flags being waved with by illegal criminals and by violent rioters in the face of cars blowing up and of flames in the city. I have photos of that here to show you. With this violence and destruction that occurred is an image that Governor Gavin Newsom owns. This is his city, and President Trump saw these images, and he said that is not going to be accepted or tolerated, and hence why he deployed the National Guard and United States Marines who have helped to quell that violence.
If I can ask another.
Sure.
If the president does end up deploying any National Guard members, perhaps Marines, to blue states, would he be in contact with the governors prior to this? Would it be necessary?
Well, President Trump was in contact with Governor Gavin Newsom, despite some of the claims he's made in the last couple of days. The president called the governor on Friday evening and told him to let law enforcement in California do their jobs. And the Los Angeles Police Department, by the way, are fantastic people. They are trying to do the work that they've so bravely signed up to do, to enforce the law. But they have been kneecapped by incompetent Democrat policies and Democrat politicians who do not allow their local law enforcement to correspond and coordinate with federal immigration authorities. And so President gave Gavin Newsom a warning and said, get it together. 24 hours later, we saw more images like this. We heard about Border Patrol agents who were being the target of rocks. These illegal criminals were throwing rocks at our Border Patrol and ICE agents, and so the president made the decision to federalize California's National Guard. Stephanie.
Thank you. Two questions on the China trade deal, if I may. Sure. First, will the president formally sign the trade deal, and if so, when? Secretary Lutnick sort of alluded to the fact that it might be in a couple of days, but I'm curious if there's anything more specific to Rita.
Sure. I do have more specifics for you. I spoke to the president about this. He spoke to his trade team, who did a fantastic job negotiating this on behalf of the United States and meeting with their Chinese counterparts. The president is talking to them about the details of it now. But what the president heard, he liked. China has agreed to open their markets to the United States separately of this deal. And when it comes to this deal, we're going back to the terms that were agreed upon in Geneva for the release of some of those critical minerals and the magnets from China to the United States. And we have agreed to fully comply with the Geneva Agreement as well. So the president is reviewing the details of that with his trade team now, and you'll hear more from him, I'm sure.
And the second question, on tariffs, Secretary Lutnick suggested that the tariffs would remain unchanged with China. I'm wondering if there's any room for them to negotiate even lower, or if this is the floor.
I won't get ahead of any further negotiations. We're in a great place right now, and I would add that this is the result of a lot of hard work from the president and his team, and the president has a good and respectful relationship with President Xi, and as you know, they had a direct conversation which led to this success that the president announced on Truth Social this morning. JJ.
On North Korea, has the president tried to resume dialogue with Kim Jong-un? There's some reporting that the president sent a letter and tried to give it to Kim Jong-un through some North Korean diplomats through the UN, and they declined to take it and send it to Kim Jong-un.
The president remains receptive to correspondence with Kim Jong-un, and he'd like to see the progress that was made at that summit in Singapore, which I know you covered in 2018 during his first term. As for specific correspondence, I'll leave that to the president to answer. Sure.
Good afternoon. Yeah, thanks. Back to the trade deal negotiations with China. Jimmy Lai, as you know, is a pro-democracy advocate, Catholic, sitting in solitary confinement in Hong Kong as we speak. His family believes he may be close to death. Did his name come up, Jimmy Lai's name come up in these negotiations with China?
Not to my knowledge. I understand the negotiations were very much focused on our trade and economic relationship with China.
Does the president believe he can free Jimmy Lai from prison?
I'll check with the president. It's certainly an important issue, and I'll get back to you.
Thanks, Caroline. The president said yesterday that paid insurrectionists were behind or involved in the protests in Los Angeles. Does the White House have any more details about who they believe is paying these
the president. the president spoke about this last night when he returned from Fort Bragg, because frankly, the president has a lot of common sense. And if you look at some of the imagery that we have received from the Department of Homeland Security and ICE and law enforcement who are on the ground, you will see boxes and boxes of very professionalized masks and rioting equipment being dropped off for these protesters. So it's a good question the president is raising, and one we are looking into, about who is funding these insurrectionists and these rioters and these protesters and these illegal criminals. And I have updates for you on the numbers, by the way. Since June 6th, there have been 330 illegal aliens that have been arrested as part of these riots in Los Angeles. 113 of those illegal aliens had prior criminal convictions. And overall, and this includes arrests of American citizens, there's been 157 people arrested for assault and obstruction-related charges, including the attempted murder of a police officer with a Molotov cocktail. So who is funding these illegal aliens who are coming in with this very professional riot gear? It's a question everyone in this room who cares about truth should be asking. And we encourage your help in trying to get to the bottom of that question. Indeed.
About Elon Musk, he issued an apology this morning. Has the president accepted the apology, or does he think it's too little too late?
The president acknowledged the statement that Elon put out this morning, and he is appreciative of it, and we are continuing to focus on the business of the American people.
And has the administration started a review of Musk's government contracts, something that the president said he's considering?
What do you mean by that?
Has the administration started a review of the contracts that Musk and his companies currently have?
No efforts have been made on that front, as far as I'm aware.
And just one more, if I may, on just everything sort of we've seen so far with the president's response to the LA protests. There is criticism that seems to suggest that the president responded the way he did because it was a deliberate, calculated attempt to sort of shift focus away from his feud with Musk. How would you respond to that?
That the president responded to the LA riots, condemning the violence to
from Musk.
It's an incredibly disingenuous attack. The president saw images of Border Patrol and ICE agents being hailed with rocks and Molotov cocktails. He saw vehicles being burned to the ground with illegal aliens flying foreign flags, and that's what prompted the president to have this response that clearly worked, because last night in Los Angeles,
they think you're stupid, guys.
Many of those images. And I would add the governor and the mayor need to actually do more. I know Gavin Newsom had a big address to the nation last night. I guess he thought that's what it was for maybe his future political ambitions, but he spoke a lot of words. We haven't seen action. California has been a mess for years because of the incompetence of Gavin Newsom, so the president was responding to that only. Caitlin.
Two questions for you.
Sure.
Over the weekend, Secretary Noem sent a memo to the Pentagon asking Secretary Hegseth to have and direct the military that's on the ground in LA to arrest and detain what she said were lawbreakers. Is the president okay with that? And under what authority would the members of the military be able to arrest people inside the United States?
I can't speak for a letter that came from the Department of Homeland Security. I can't speak for the president and what's currently happening on the ground now. And as you know, the president federalized the National Guard under U.S. Code 10, which he has the authority to do. And our United States Marines and the National Guardsmen and women who are on the ground right now are helping to create a peaceful environment for ICE and Border Patrol, who were being, again, hailed with rocks, who were being violently and viciously attacked. They needed reinforcements, and so our United States Marines who are on the ground are providing those reinforcements to ensure the environment is peaceful so that these raids and deportations can continue.
But he realizes they can't actually arrest people unless he invokes the Insurrection Act, which, I mean, seemingly was not something that was in Secretary Noem's memo, a clear distinction she did not make there.
Again, you're trying to conflate a letter that was sent to the Department of Homeland Security to the president's legal authority. The president understands the legal authority that he invoked, and that's the current situation right now.
When it comes to federalizing the National Guard, what is the specific criteria that the president is using for when he's deciding to do that, and in which states?
The president was asked and answered this yesterday. He wants to see an end to the chaos and the violence. He doesn't want to see law enforcement officers being attacked. He wants to see peace. He wants law-abiding Californians to be able to bring their kids to...
And 60 days. It's very clear. I mean, these people are news? Who are these people, Shady? What?
They're communist Marxists, Jeff.
Oh, my God. That dude, Dylan Mulvaney, really pisses me off.
Yeah, it really is. It's like Dylan's little twin brother.
kids to school, to be able to go to work without seeing this violence in the streets. That's what the president's hoping for, and that's why he's taken this action. John.
Thanks a lot, Caroline. Two questions on two separate topics. One has to do with the military parade taking place here in Washington this weekend. There's a lot of security around the White House complex, around the Capitol complex, even along the tidal basin. Is that just proactive? Are you expecting anything in particular in terms of unrest like we've seen in Los Angeles?
These are proactive security measures to protect those marching in the parade, many of whom will be veterans and our brave men and women in uniform and Gold Star families. There's going to be military families from around the country who are flying into this parade. And of course, it's to protect the spectators who will be enjoying this incredibly patriotic show on Saturday. And I hope you all join us there.
Secondly, Secretary Pete Hegseth testified on the Senate side of the Capitol today, and he was asked about America's, the administration's view of Vladimir Putin's intentions. And specifically, it was asked whether or not his intentions go beyond, his territorial ambitions go beyond Ukraine. When that question was posed to the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Kane replied that he does believe that his territorial ambitions go beyond Ukraine, but Secretary Hegseth says it's not clear at this point. How does the president view this issue?
The president has spoken on this. He said, as he calls it, he believes Ukraine was always the apple of Putin's eye. And he made it very clear to Putin in his first term not to invade Ukraine. Putin didn't invade Ukraine because of President Trump's peace through strength foreign policy agenda and the effective deterrence policies that he implemented in the first term. Unfortunately, because of the weakness and incompetence of the previous administration, Vladimir Putin made the decision to invade Ukraine, and now we have this brutal war, which the president is working very hard to end. Jasmine.
Thanks so much, Caroline. The president warned that any protests on Saturday would be met with force. Can you clarify what kind of protest President Trump does support or find acceptable?
The president absolutely supports peaceful protests. He supports the First Amendment. He supports the right of Americans to make their voices heard. He does not support violence of any kind. He does not support assaulting law enforcement officers who are simply trying to do their job. It's very clear for the president what he supports and what he does not. Unfortunately for Democrats, that line has not been made clear, and they've allowed this unrest and this violence to continue, and the president has had to step in.
Exactly right. It's like herding cats over here. They're acting like this is a peaceful protest. We are all okay with peaceful protests. These are not peaceful protests. Do a couple of bad apples spoil the bunch? Yes. But it's not a peaceful protest at that point. Don't people get this, Shady? It's like herding freaking cats.
No, they can't get it. They're intentionally not getting it. It's just like all these people that are in the Flynn cult. They don't get it on purpose. You cannot tell them, no matter what she says, they will not listen. They will continue to run this narrative. That's why that CNN has less than 350,000 viewers in prime time.
CNN.
All of this different these media, they're dying because they do not represent the concerns of the American people. They represent the concerns of the globalist bloodline order.
The CNN. You got to say it right, Shady.
It's the CNN.
Yeah.
So if there were peaceful protests on Saturday for the military parade, President Trump would allow that?
Of course the president supports peaceful protests. What a stupid question. Raquel.
Thank you so much, Caroline.
Raquel, and then I can go to you first.
Hey, pause
Thank
it
you
a
so
second,
much,
Jeff.
Caroline. I have two.
I want people to make the distinction to understand that. Notice that they keep saying mostly peaceful protest. Pay attention to that. It's very important. There's no such thing as a mostly peaceful
It's
protest.
either peaceful or it's not.
Correct. That is a operating word. This is a way that they're trying to trick their numbnuts into going out there and getting themselves in trouble because they're not reporting the news. They're not reporting to the Democrat base that if you do this stuff, the feds are going to arrest you. We're not going to bring you into the Minnesota jail and let you out tomorrow. The feds are going to put you in a federal holding facility. You're going to be charged by the feds. And if you know anything about what happens when you're on federal property and get charged for something, they don't let go of you.
But Shady, it's mostly peaceful.
Mostly peaceful is not a thing. You are either peaceful or you are not peaceful. Very simple.
It's true.
Questions. One about Israel. Yesterday, the ambassador
the U.S. ambassador to Israel, said the U.S. no longer is pursuing the goal of an independent Palestinian state. Can you confirm that the president is no longer supporting a two-state solution? And is President Trump considering diplomatic action against countries who takes action against Israel during next week UN conference?
Right now, the president views the situation in Israel and Gaza as deeply unfortunate and needing to end. And the president is realistic about the current state of affairs in this region of the world. And that's why the president has said the number one focus and priority of the administration is to release all of the hostages from Gaza and to end this conflict as soon as possible. The administration is still pushing very hard for the release of all the hostages. And as for what happens next, clearly Gaza is an uninhabitable place. It needs to be rebuilt with the help of our Arab partners, and the president wants to see that happen as well. Take a couple
Just one on the G7 engagement. President Trump is traveling there on Sunday. Other presidents beyond the G7 leaders are also going. President Lula from Brazil, President Sheinbaum from Mexico, and President Zelensky from Ukraine are also going. Do you have confirmation if President Trump is meeting any other leaders on the sideline of the G7?
Yes.
To know about the Lula engagement with Lula.
I can confirm there will be quite a few bilateral meetings between the president and other foreign leaders. The White House is still working very hard to finalize that schedule, and we will provide that for you as soon as we have it.
Great.
Thanks, Kelly. Just back to the China trade deal, can you talk about the status of the export controls that the U.S. imposed? Are those no longer being imposed?
We are fully complying with the Geneva Agreement. Go ahead. Sure.
Thanks, Caroline. One foreign question for you and one domestic. The foreign, the president, of course, has said he would lift sanctions on Syria. Is there an executive order coming along soon to go do that? And is the president planning to try to get involved in any kind of a peace agreement between Israel and Syria that would disengage those two?
To the best of my knowledge, the Treasury Department took action after the president made that announcement in Saudi Arabia.
Okay. And then on the domestic side, you were just asked about the First Amendment rights issues. In the president's comments yesterday, though, he just said protesters would be strongly dealt with. In your list before, you referred to insurrectionists, rioters, and protesters together. Obviously, they're quite different from your earlier answer. I'm struck by the fact that the president has not at any point said the most important thing here is to protect the First Amendment rights of peaceful protesters. So I'm wondering, where in his hierarchy of interests does he place that? Is the First Amendment protection the most important? Is stopping violence most important? Why is he not out saying all peaceful protesters will be protected?
Wow. Okay. Look at that. Look at the dynamic that he's trying to say. This presents perfectly to you the dynamic that they're utilizing to confuse the crap out of people and try to make you think one thing is different than the other thing. These are the same things. If violence becomes the priority, violence is always the priority. It works backwards from there. So you are no longer a protester if there is violence. So therefore you do not have a First Amendment right. Have you proceeded into violence? These two things are not conducive of one another. They are not the same, but he's trying to make you think that they're the same thing. They're not. A violent person is not a protester. It's an agent provocateur.
You know what's interesting too is Sinokin, I hope we're saying your name right, but he said Sen Kaukin said, wouldn't mostly peaceful pair with partly violent? It's an admittance of violence, technically.
Correct. That's exactly 125% exactly right. This is the way that the media conflate. And if you pay attention, you'll see that the way that the Roger Stone people, Alex Jones, and General Flynn, they use this exact same technique to weaponize people against Pam Bondi. And, you know, they present something and they say something that's obviously true, and then they act like there's something wrong with it, like me being afraid of the file cabinet in the corner.
Yeah, mostly violent. I love it. Yeah, I mean, we should refer to it as mostly violent protests. Or partially violent protests. You know,
they're
mostly
partially
peaceful,
violent.
Partially violent. Perfect.
Same
I love
exact thing.
Yes. Go post it on Twitter, guys. Wow. Everybody. Is mostly peaceful kind of like partially violent? Question mark.
Same thing.
Same.
These two things are the same in a meme.
These are the same. Partly, or that change my mind.
Change my mind. Yes.
I'll put it in a change my mind meme later.
Two things can be important at the same time. And the president, as I just answered, supports the right of Americans to peacefully protest. He supports the First Amendment. But that is not the majority of the behavior that we have seen taking place in Los Angeles. We have seen mobs of violent rioters and agitators assaulting law enforcement officers, assaulting our federal immigration authorities. And we have seen, as I said, this goes back to what this administration is trying to do and accomplish, and that's enforcing law and order in our nation's communities. And it's removing public safety threats from communities in Los Angeles.
You're saying the majority have not been peaceful, the majority have been violent.
I just read for you the arrest numbers. We've arrested nearly 400 illegal aliens alone, just illegal aliens who have been arrested in these riots since June 6th, since they began.
Thousands of people
We've
on
had-
the streets.
Yeah, and we've had hundreds of people who have assaulted law enforcement officers. Are you saying that that's that's appropriate behavior? Are
No,
you
no, I'm
saying
not
that
saying
the
that at
president
all. I'm
shouldn't
just
take
trying to
action?
figure out-
The Democrat governor and the Democrat mayor of Los Angeles have failed their citizens. And the majority of Americans, the majority of Californians do not want to see law enforcement officers being assaulted in the streets. And thankfully, the president took action and stepped in to protect our federal law enforcement agents, to protect federal buildings, to protect the federal mission of deporting illegal criminals off of our streets. And that mission will continue every day as far as we're concerned. Thank you, guys.
Wow. These people, I mean, and she's like so frustrated, like you and I are, with these people not willing to look at the truth. I mean, I obviously know they have an agenda, Shady. I obviously know that who they represent, but it is confusing regular people, isn't it?
Well, it's confusing some people, Jeff, but the people that it's confusing are the people that are on the left and have been lied to. But it's not. But there's a good thing. There's a good side of this. There's a large portion of the population where this isn't confusing at all. This is making perfect sense. They're like, oh wow, now I understand. Now I understand what happened in 2020. Now I understand the dynamic. Now I understand what Donald Trump was saying compared to what these people were doing. And now that we've, let's just say, for example, the legal immigrant community in America. The legal immigrant community in America is what? They are 65 to 70% polling for these removals. Think about that. So those are the people that should be the most upset. Those are the people that probably had like friends and family that they brought here. They got to come here, so they encouraged to come here, and they're trying to get them set up. Those are the people that we should look to for the most accurate depiction of a non-biased opinion, because they have bias the other way automatically. Therefore, they are saying in those types of numbers that they want these people removed also. So we have a mandate. We have an affirmed mandate by the population to remove these people. We told you, this is similar to what we were saying to Sonia earlier. This is not Nostradamus. We just know what's going to happen because we know what they're willing to do. This is the constant. The only constant is the left and the globalists will double down on their nonsense. They will never admit, capitulate, bow their heads, and say, oh yeah, we were wrong, I'm sorry. You can guarantee it. You can predict it, and you can game it out, and you can see clearly how this would play out if we start sending ICE agents in mass to remove the illegal element in society where these Democrat strongholds, call them sanctuary cities. They are going to clearly turn violent, and they're going to clearly start attacking the ICE agents.
Yeah, I got the meme here. I'm going to go ahead and post it on Twitter, Shady.
He's got the meme.
I got the meme.
I gave you just enough time.
You did give me enough time. In fact, let me just polish
the edge.
Polish it and
get it right.
I should put Gavin Newsom in there, but I'll just
after you get it done, resize. Make sure you got no weird edges on your meme.
I got edges. I'm edgy. I'm edgy.
I'm actually so not edgy for a change. I spent 4 years of being edgy with Joe Biden and having to broadcast under that absolute miserable human being. I'm so excited every day to wake up and say, oh my goodness, what's going to happen next? Oh, we had Elon Musk apologize to Donald Trump. Yeah, no kidding, you jerk. By the way, make a little statement towards Elon Musk. Boy, oh boy, you talk about like not helping. But it is interesting that you did get a bunch of Democrats to scream about Jeffrey Epstein, which was quite ripe.
Reeing, we call that, Shady Groove. All right, so here it is, guys. Let's see if we can get it up there. Let's see. Okay, so Mostly peaceful is the same as partially violent protests/riots. Change my mind.
There it is. Give them the link. Go get it. That's how you make a meme.
That's a meme right there.
I'm meme.
Memeing.
I mean.
Wow. Wow. Unbelievable.
That is what they're saying. The press are sitting there saying that. They literally are. It's such a great point to make. Yes, they are partially violent. Mostly peaceful is partially violent. Mostly peaceful does not exist. That's like what the IRS does to me, Jeff. They say they tell me that it's voluntary compliance. Wait a minute. How can I be forced to comply with something that's voluntary? It seems like they're trying to confuse me. Seems like I'm a target of some sort of operation.
Oh boy, Shady Grove. Guard members in 23 states, Shady.
Look at that.
So here we go.
Unlocking map.
May 31st, Guard members in 23rd states, D.C. called up in response to civil unrest. This was May 31st. This is 2020. Never mind, this is 2020.
Good Lord, Jeff, that's 6 years ago, bro.
But it says 21 hours ago.
Man, you done psyoped me.
It says 21 hours ago as of Monday. 23 states. And then look, you go to the article, it says 2020.
While we're on the subject of psyops, you might want to give the audience a little hint about the new Roger Stone. I don't know if you want to talk to him about the new Roger Stone psyop that's out there that's gaining momentum. That's a complete BS.
So what was it, Shady? There was a bunch of people running with this narrative that not Letitia James. What's her name? Is it? Yeah. Letitia James was caught trafficking children and shit. Sorry.
Yeah.
It was started by Roger Stone. Yes.
We found the center.
Yeah. And the website that it went to was the Frank Report that attacked us as well. It's a Roger Stone friend who's guilty of $1 million in tax fraud. They're setting up this narrative against Letitia James. Look, I don't like Letitia James, but let's not lie. Okay, Roger? Can you stop freaking lying all the time?
This is the way but Jeff, this is Southern District. Remember Roger Stone was very concerned about the Southern District's going to come for him. So this is effectively protecting Letitia James. What he's doing is he's trying to make something up about her so that other people on the other side of the conversation can come in and protect her against it. Maybe even bringing in some people like us to have to say, because now look what we're doing. Look at us. Now we're over here we're trying to defend Letitia James. They could easily characterize what we're doing by you saying
Stone's close ally and longtime advisor says that Letitia James is, running a child trafficking ring.
I'm not sure why you're out here psyoping, Jeff. Why are you propping up Letitia James?
Huh? I don't know.
You're all for the Southern District, aren't you? Yeah, you're all for thinking that Donald Trump did something wrong and Mar-a-Lago's worth more than $18 million.
It's crazy,
you guys. Understand the complicated nature. How are you expected to understand this stuff? How do you
absorb the confused, Shady?
Do you really think that we would have been able to navigate this last 6 years without Q? Honestly, we would have not been able to start a broadcast. We would have not been able to talk down to these people. We would have not had any information to mock them with, and we wouldn't have had the embedded information that we eventually came to later that showed how this network was really operating against all of us.
And you know how we did that is because we were with them. We saw them. Yes. We understood them. We know them personally. They brought us into their little fold, but attacked us at the same time.
They didn't want any of the information, Jeff. Yeah. We had information that answers their dumb questions about why this, why that, why that. Well, here, this is why. Oh, no, it's not that. It's this. No, it's this. This is why. No, it's not that. It's over here. No, it's this. This is why. No. Whenever people reject truthful information, one time, it could be a mistake. Whenever they reject truthful information a dozen times, it's not a mistake.
Yeah. Wow. I'm trying to find the actual post here. I'm on Roger Stone's little timeline here.
Bust another slap. Get on out there. Get underneath these people and mock them. They are liars.
Let's go through this, okay, guys? Okay. This woman has accused New York Attorney General Letitia James of kidnapping and complicitly in her sexual assault. Aren't we supposed to believe all women? And it goes to Art Voice, okay? This guy at our voice is Frank Parlato, okay? Frank Parlato is a fraud. Art Voice is a fraud. Stone knows this guy very well, probably from Nexium.
That looks like the tie, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, and this is all garbage. Everything garbage. And like I saw somebody posting about it. You know, don't you realize you're actually hurting Trump because the mainstream media thinks this guy is a longtime advisor for President Trump when he was fired in 8 of 2015? Fired.
You're giving Letitia James something to virtue signal over. Oh, look, they're accusing me of this. They're doing this. This is what they're doing to me. The right-wing media is coming after me, accusing me of this stuff that's not true.
Yeah.
That's what you're giving her. Roger Stone is handing her that on a platter. And isn't it interesting that he handed that to WikiLeaks? Isn't it interesting that he handed that about Russia from Flynn to the media? Roger Stone is behind every single one of this, including January the 6th, allegedly.
Allegedly. We got to say that because, you know, they're sue happy. That's what Democrats do is they sue people. Shady.
Yeah. Well, you know, they're that process has not been so effective against Donald Trump, has it?
Yeah.
Because he has a bigger pocketbook. That's the only way that Donald Trump has survived this is because the man has control of his own finances and didn't owe anybody anything. If he owed any of these people anything whenever he went in for that, or they actually had any blackmail, that's how we knew that the whole silliness with Elon was crap. If they had that information on him, you would have seen it in 3 minutes.
And this guy, Frank Parlato, actually did here we go. Yeah, he actually did. Here we go. This is Frank Parlato from the Frank Report. Look at Ramtha cult is BS. We're not the Ramtha cult. You see this? They're saying Ramtha and Nexium. He has ties to Nexium. Roger Stone has ties to Nexium. But they have attacked us. These people are garbage.
Yes, they needed to try to connect her to that, trying to connect us to that. Why were we so important during that time? Look at everything that's happened around our show.
Yeah.
Because of us? Because of what? What are we saying? What are we saying that these people are so afraid of?
Yeah, well, we just told you that Roger Stone's from and worked at Nexium. Let's see, in the... Bling. There it is. There it is right there. See that? That's us. That they're attacking us. You know, when we go to somebody's show, like Sonia Poulton, okay, Sonia Poulton. When we go to her show, when we go to Jay-Z night and talk to 400 people and people overseas, 40 countries with live translators, it does not mean we're them. What don't people understand?
Oh no, Jeff! It means we're setting it all up. We're setting it up to test their loyalty.
I got pictures with General Flynn, and they're still on our website because it's part of our story because we're actual whistleblowers, okay? And, we're just going to keep telling the truth no matter what the cost, literally. And it cost us everything, folks. But thank you to you. $17 Rumble Ryan. I see one right here, Sandy Star White. Love you guys always. Love you, too, with the donut emoji. And, Shady, that's a show.
Wow, we did a simulcast today. You know what that means? That we proved that was possible. We proved that we could find YouTube again.
Wow. Oh, God.
What happens if Jeff and Shady go back to YouTube?
We'll actually get banned.
Oh. We'll see.
I mean, I want my old channel back, Shady.
That's what we do want back. Yes, we do want our channel back.
I want to read to you something quickly from Sonia after this. She said, guys, that was absolutely phenomenal. I've just finished the stream, went to my emails, and there must have been a dozen there saying, bring them back, or words to that effect. That was a fantastic education. Really appreciate it. Speak soon. Take care. Sonia.
Wow. We did good. We represented you guys well, it appears.
I hope so. That's, we're representing, we're representing ourselves. And to get the message out, sometimes you have to go on people that you may not like shows, right, Shady? I mean, it's pretty simple.
I don't really care what people do or don't like. How about that?
Yeah. I mean, we're triggering everybody. The right, the left. You said it earlier, Shady Grove. I love it. I love it. Oh,
it's
man.
called being effective.
Effective. Wow. Wow, Shady. I tell you, I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for supporting this show. We appreciate you. The egos get in the way a lot of the times with these psyopers, and that's where they fail. We want to just win, guys, okay? We admitted that we were wrong on several occasions, not very many, but several, and we're always wrong until we're right about many. Our track record is stellar, Shady Groove, and I'm proud of that.
So am I. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us here today on this Wednesday, Jeff, the 11th of June. Can't believe I'm saying that already. I'm going to drop you guys a link here as we go out for a thread that I did yesterday regarding the Army 250, the 250th anniversary of the Army coming up this week on the weekend. I put a thread together yesterday, and I think that you guys might love reading through some of that because I think find a couple tidbits you didn't know about.
And because of the 250th anniversary of the Army, we will probably go over that thread as well. God bless you all. Where we go one, we go all. Shady, out.
We're out. Much love.
We can hear you.
Do you remember when we fell in love? I remember, don't worry. Do you remember? I remember how it all began. How could I ever forget? It's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's coming in the air now. Oh, we fell in love. You remember time? How could I ever forget? You remember time? Oh, we fell in love. You remember time? How could I ever forget? Coming in the air now. We fell in love. You remember coming in the air now. Our first time, be our best time. Turn into night time. I think I'll find mine. Shining like the skyline. Wish I could rewind time and play it in my mind. Play it in my mind. Oh, no. You'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought of at first I could feel so real. You brought emotions out I couldn't feel. Yeah, it's the first time. Do you remember? I can feel it. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air now. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel it coming in the air, coming in the air, coming in the air. Oh no, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember it? Oh no, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget? You remember the time? Oh no, we fell in love. You remember the time? How could I ever forget?
Come on, guys. Can you feel it?
I can feel it.
They'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought of at first I could feel so real. You'll never know this love and how it feels. I never thought of at first I could feel so real. How it real, how it real, feel so real. How it real, how it real. How it real, and that feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, feels so real. How it real, how it real, how it.
Wow. Wow is right. www.mg.show. Boom. Donald J.